Mookie Betts will play shortstop once again, for now at least. Puka Nacua will be a go for the Rams season opener, and down their best quarterback, the Chargers turn to a spring football league MVP. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. And so it is August 7th, 2024. I am back in Southern Illinois. Ick. But that's okay in the sense because at least I know where I came from. That's LA. And that's why we talk LA sports. If you'd like me in the know about LA, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Philadelphia 6, Dodgers 2. Teoscar Hernandez homered. Clayton Kershaw, far better than his performance in San Diego. He allowed just one run in 4 2/3 innings with 5 strikeouts. But we have to mention this. Reliever Brusdar Graterol returned to the majors. And 8 pitches in, it looks like his season is over with a grade 3 hamstring strain. This is ridiculous. How many Dodger pitchers have to get hurt? How many Dodger pitchers have to have their season end before somebody in either the training staff or the pitching coaching staff is held accountable for this? There's far too many Dodger pitchers getting injured. It's obscene. It's ridiculous. It's not all the pitcher's fault. Somewhere along the line, something is being asked of these pitchers that is way too much. Nobody in baseball has this level of problems year after year after year. It's only the Dodgers. It's probably costing them shots at World Series titles. No matter how much money they spend, it's either somebody in the training staff or somebody in the pitching coaching staff. They're asking too much of their pitchers. They keep getting hurt. There's something wrong. It has to be addressed. By the way, Gotham FC defeated Angel City FC 1-0 in the semifinals of the Liga MX Hot Girl Summer Tournament. Today, meanwhile, Philadelphia is at the Dodgers once again at 7. Gavin Stone is starting. He's 9-5 with a 3.63 ERA. Tyler Phillips, 3-1 with a 4.39 ERA. And Austin is at LAFC at 7:30. This is the round of 32 in League's Cup. Now back to the Dodgers. Multiple reports are saying that Mookie Betts will be playing shortstop when he returns next week. We also know from Dave Roberts where he'll bat. And this is kind of weird because we were thinking the Dodgers were going to change where he plays out in the field. But instead, Roberts said Betts, who used to be the leadoff guy, will now slot in the second spot of the lineup. The reason is because both Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman are left-handed hitters. When the Dodgers make the playoffs, Roberts is reasoning, they will eventually have to face top-notch left-handed relievers. And so he doesn't want 2 consecutive left-handed bats going up against that pitcher, whoever it turns out to be. Roberts was also asked, well, you could theoretically split Freeman and Ohtani by moving Will Smith up in the lineup, but that was dismissed because doing so would move Freeman down from 3 to 4. You could cost him an extra at-bat in a playoff game by doing that. And the funny thing is I wrote some of these notes during the Dodger game last night, and the next one was me welcoming back Brusdar Graterol to the majors. Craziness. Blake Trinan was put on the injured list yesterday. Trinan said he felt something askew in his hip after Sunday's game in Oakland. Once again, a Dodger pitcher getting hurt. You might remember Graterol was the Dodgers setup man for 2 years, by the way, just to jump back to that earlier note. And Trinan was once their closer. So, yeah, Not to mention the fact that you have an entire starting rotation on the injured list. I realize I already addressed Graterol, but we may as well address it once again. How many Dodger pitchers have to be injured before somebody gets held accountable? I get that pitching puts an incredible strain on your arm. I do. But not these many pitchers get injured on other teams. Former Major League outfielder Billy Beane, who played for the Dodgers, later came out as gay while he was an executive for a Major League team, has died of leukemia at the age of 60. To be clear, this is not the Billy Beane of Moneyball fame from the Oakland A's. Sean McVay told ESPN that Puka Nacua's knee issue is no threat to keep him out of the Rams season opener. Quote, really just had a little bit of a bursa sac, kind of burst it, and he's going to be week to week with him. Nothing serious, nothing structurally. He'll be in good shape, and he'll recover, and we'll be ready to go, unquote. As a result of the Rams' odd injury wave, they have waived two rookies, tight end Neil Johnson and safety Kenny Logan. Neither of them were drafted, so they were long shots to make the team in the first place. In their stead, the Rams have signed 3 offensive linemen to replace the 3 that were injured. The newbies are Matt Caskey, Alec Lindstrom, and former UCLA lineman Connor McDermott. Caskey and Lindstrom have both played in those spring football leagues that nobody outside of St. Louis bothers to watch. McDermott did play a little bit with the New England Patriots. But I got to tell you, overall, you'd have to say it was a big day for people who once played in the USFL, XFL, UFL, IDGAFFL. The Chargers signed Luis Perez, who once quarterbacked the Arlington Deadbeat Dads to an XFL title. He has played so much in these non-NFL leagues that his nickname is the King of Spring. That is a nickname that I would want about as much as Rec League MVP. It's not exactly going to turn the heads of a lot of ladies over at the club. I mean, seriously, I've worked in the Midwest now for 9 months, traveling back and forth between here and the West Coast. I actually went out and saw a UFL game. And before you think that Luis Perez is the answer while Justin Herbert is out, watching the UFL, what struck me was not how bad it was, but why it is so bad. Not every starting quarterback in the NFL is good. Do you agree with that? So, all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, not all of them are good. Then all the primary backups are signed, and they're not going anywhere. So now you're talking 64 off the board. Maybe even all of the third stringers are contractually obligated to stay in the NFL. So if all of that is true, the UFL is starting off with, at best, the 97th best professional quarterback on the market. Not good enough to be a third stringer in the NFL at that point. Not good enough to be a second stringer in the NFL, where the talent drop off is pronounced from your top guy. So yeah, the idea that Perez is going to dominate in the XFL and then take that to the NFL, don't hold your breath. Perez did have a cup of coffee with the Rams in preseason a few years ago. Right now, because Justin Herbert is injured, Perez begins as 4th on the depth chart, which means he might get a chance at a preseason game. The Chargers also waived rookie linebacker Savion Jackson, who was undrafted and a long shot. I bring this up because one of my friends, when he's talking to people and doesn't want to give his real name, refers to himself as Savory Johnson. Savory Johnson. I wonder what he's implying. UCLA's defensive coordinator, Ika Malo, who I know I have accidentally mispronounced his name, and I genuinely apologize for it. said he was still trying to determine how his defensive front was going to get to the quarterback. Quote, "Are we going to be a front type of pressure group, or do we have to manipulate the fronts? We are very deep in our inside backer room, and I think that would be the strength of our defense right now. So as much as I can get those guys on the field, I think it will benefit us as a defense," unquote. He added that the new look offense of Eric Bieniemy has been a test for the D-line as well. Quote, "I love it. I mean, from the new additions they brought on their side of the ball to just the schemes, it really exposes you if you're not fundamentally sound. And that's really what our camp is about. If we can get better at our fundamentals, then the schemes will take care of themselves," unquote. To underscore just how much damage Rob Blake's reputation has taken in the last year, The Athletic asked fans across the NHL, "How confident are you in your team's front office?" The Kings have dropped from 13th to 31st. They were only ahead of the New York Islanders. And the thing is, you were allowed to vote not just on your own team, but also vote on other teams too. And fans from other teams across the continent, from Canada to the United States, they all believe that the Kings executives suck. They got a D- grade overall. They were named the worst team at roster building. They were named at the worst team at cap management, trades, free agency, vision for the future. The comments are what you would expect from Kings fans who have taken a vow not to curse online, so props to them for that. To be polite, they said that Blake handed out fat contracts to two people who didn't even come close to panning out. Goalie Cal Peterson, who I think runs a taco truck out in El Segundo now, and career sluggard Pierre-Luc Dubois. Blake, yes, he did trade them away to technically get out from under those contracts, but the recovery isn't complete. And the reason why is that the Kings had to sweeten the deal to get those players off of his hands. In other words, he had to drain their minor league system even further to rid themselves of those bad contracts, which means he had nobody to replace them with. And as a result, the team is mediocre after having a cachet of prospects that were the envy of the entire league. Galaxy defender Carlos Garces rolled his ankle in Sunday's Galaxy victory over Chivas Guadalajara. The team doesn't know how severe the injury is. The Galaxy will play in the League's Cup round of 32 on Thursday. Derica Hamby of the Sparks helped the U.S. women's 3-on-3 basketball team to a bronze medal. I didn't see any of it. I haven't watched the Olympics. And by the way, I realize when everybody says that they don't watch the Olympics, they have a political reason behind it. I don't. I don't have a political reason behind anything when it comes to the Olympics. Two things, though, can be true at once. One, an Olympic medal is an Olympic medal. So congratulations. Two, 3-on-3 basketball is not a sport. Stop it. Stop it. 3-on-3 basketball need not be in the Olympics. 3-on-3 basketball is only something you play when your friends aren't healthy enough to run full court. There should never be 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Are you cool with the idea of Mookie Betts dropping to the 2-hole in the lineup while staying at shortstop? Are you relieved about Puka Nacua coming back for the Rams season opener? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.